I'm going to show you 5 things that you're probably doing right now that are making your low back pain worse that you were probably told to do by either your chiropractor, physical therapist, or medical provider. And these are extremely common things that you hear about all the time and you don't realize it's keeping you stuck. My name is Dr. Grant Elliott, founder of RehabFix. We've helped thousands all over the world fully recover from low back pain, disc herniations, and sciatica through our one-on-one online coaching program. And in this episode, I'm going to show you 5 of the most common things that you're probably doing that are keeping you stuck with pain and making it worse. The first thing that is making your low back pain worse is rest. And you might think I'm crazy, like, what? You get an injury, don't you have to rest it? But no, this is an extremely slippery slope. And it's very clear in the evidence that rest is harmful for the vast majority of lower back issues. Now, I'm not saying if you got in a car wreck yesterday or you tried to squat 500 pounds yesterday and you felt your disc pop that you should be super active today. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that rest is not a long-term solution. If you've been dealing with this for any longer than a few days, honestly, you should not be resting past that period. So if you've been resting for weeks, months, or years, listen, if rest was gonna work, it would have worked by now. And the evidence is extremely clear that rest makes your pain worse. It chronifies pain. It makes it last longer. It slows down your recovery. It increases fear avoidance behaviors. It makes it more mental. It makes your nervous system memorize pain. And this is obviously not good for recovery. Motion is lotion, rest is rest. Rest will not fix your low back. You need a movement-based solution. The second thing that's probably making your low back pain worse is stretching. And once again, you're like, what, Grant? Like stretching, like that's a good thing. We should all stretch. And yes, stretching is movement, and movement is a good thing. But if you're dealing with a spine condition or a nerve condition, very common stretches can actually make your situation worse. Let me explain. One of the most common lower back issues is called a flexion intolerant lower back issue. This is where you notice your pain increases the longer you sit, when you bend forward, when you put socks and shoes on, things like that. And that's a result of you having your lower back in flexion too much throughout your life. It's increasing this stress too much. You're getting too much of that. Now, the most common low back stretches you see people do are usually bending forward to touch their toes, or sitting on the ground and bending forward, or doing that stretch in the gym where they kind of grab onto something and pull their back back. Now, these are all the same thing that your low back, your discs, your muscles, and your tissues are getting too much of. The problem is that you're getting too much flexion. You don't want to give it more flexion if that's your particular issue. So the majority of these stretches are making you worse. And now if we take a nerve-based condition, if you have sciatica, burning pain down the leg, numbness and tingling down the leg, if you start stretching where you feel that tightness, if you start stretching where you feel that burning pain, what you're doing is you're increasing tension on your nerve. And nerves do not like 2 things. They don't like compression and they don't like tension. And so if you're pulling on an irritated nerve, you can increase your pain. You can increase the symptoms within the nerve. You can cause it to get worse and inflamed and prolong its recovery. So stretching can be making you worse. The third one is protecting your spine. You've hurt your back and your instinct is to guard, is to protect yourself. Hey, I shouldn't move my spine. I should protect it. I should keep myself stiff and brace my core all the time, right? That's how I should move. Well, this does 2 really bad things. The first thing it does is it promotes less movement in your spine. And we mentioned that earlier. If you're moving your spine less, that's going to create more restriction. Well, what do you think restriction does? Restriction creates more pain. We don't want that. We want less pain. So protecting yourself is also restricting your movement. The second thing is it creates more fear. If we feel like we need to protect our spine, protect our back, then we're perceiving it as weak. And we're gonna start changing our life and changing our behaviors around that. So if we're afraid to move, afraid to bend our spine, this creates fear avoidance behaviors. Hey, I'm not gonna bend over to pick that up. Hey, I'm not gonna go to the gym. Hey, I'm not gonna play pickleball with my friends because I need to protect my back. Well, what does that do? It's training your brain that you should avoid movement and that certain movements are gonna create pain. This creates fear. This creates less movement. This makes the pain hardwired in your brain and in your nervous system. Well, if your nervous system and your brain start to memorize pain and you train yourself that, oh, if I'm not protecting, if I'm twisting or bending, I'm going to increase my pain, it's going to memorize that. And it will create that pain every time you do that action, whether or not an injury is actually there. So you do not want your brain to memorize pain. And that can happen by protecting your spine. Hey, real quick, I know you're struggling with pain and obviously want to fix it. So if you just text me the word pain to 317-751-9509, I will send you my free back pain fix demo. Just text that number and you can fix your pain. Thank me later. Back to the show. The fourth one is accidentally focusing on just where the pain is. The location of the pain is often not the location of the problem. Let's take sciatica as an example. Some people will have burning or tightness in their hamstring, in their calf, or in their foot. So they're gonna stretch their hamstring, stretch their calf, or stretch their foot, or massage their leg, needle their leg, do soft tissue work on their leg, do e-stim or laser or whatever on their leg. Well, guess what? That's not where the problem is. The problem's in your lower back. You got a disc issue that's hitting the nerve and the symptoms are traveling down your leg. So you're spending all of your time, your money, your effort on where the symptoms are, but you're not focusing on where the problem is. The problem's in your lower back. So that issue could be getting worse and worse and worse as you're focusing on all the wrong places. To give you a different example, a lot of individuals with lower back pain are struggling with hip restrictions. So you might have low back pain. You might be thinking, I need to focus on my back. I need low back exercises. But you might be completely neglecting the fact that your hips are incredibly restricted. And because they've been restricted, they've put more pressure on your lower back. And that's the reason for your back pain. Yes, we might have some low back restrictions or pain as a result, but that may not be the core component. And you may need to be doing hip-focused exercises to resolve the low back. So do not be tricked into just focusing where the pain is located. And the last thing that is making your low back pain worse is core exercises. Once again, you're thinking, Grant, you're crazy, man. You're telling me training my core and getting stronger is actually hurting my low back? And I'm here to tell you a lot of the times, yes. And this isn't my opinion. Thousands of our clients tell us this, and the evidence can show this too. And here's what I mean. I'm gonna break this down, okay? As I stated earlier, a majority of lower back pain is flexion intolerant, meaning bending your spine forward is related to the problem, and so doing more of that can increase the pain and increase the problem. Now, how do a majority of core exercises function? A majority of them function by bending your spine. Sit-ups, Russian twists, toes to bar, leg raises, all of these different things are flexion-based movements. So you might be thinking in your head, hey, I want to strengthen my abs, strengthen my core, but you're not thinking about the motion that is causing on your spine. It's causing a flexion motion, which can increase pressure on the disc, increase pressure on the nerve, increase pressure on your spine, and it could perpetuate your issue. So yes, you're getting a stronger abdominals, you're getting stronger six-pack, but it's actually the opposite thing that you should be doing on your spine. What this also does is it creates this narrative that the reason for my low back pain is because I have a weak core. Well, there's no evidence to support that. There's no evidence that proves a weak core causes low back pain or that getting a stronger core will fix it. So if you develop a belief that you have to strengthen your core to fix your back pain, it's creating an inaccurate solution because that's not why you're in pain. That's not the reason. So if you believe I gotta get a stronger core, but you've been doing, planks for 5 minutes, or you've been an athlete your whole life, or your core is totally strong and fine, and it doesn't change that, well, now you're left chasing your tail. You're spinning in circles, doing just more core stuff every week. And you're wondering, when is my core going to get stronger? When is my back going to go away? And it sends you down the wrong path and it leaves you spinning in circles. And trust me, we get clients in our program every day that are elite CrossFitters, strongman athletes, powerlifters, people who have very strong cores, who are told, do your glute bridges and do your planks at, their local PT. And it made no difference because they already have strong cores. That's not the reason for a majority of your pain. And I don't want you stuck chasing that myth. Now, you still might be thinking, okay, this was helpful, but what do I do now? What's the plan? And you're right, you need a plan. So what we've done to help thousands of people around the world fully resolve their back pain, avoid surgery, avoid injections, when all the in-person stuff has completely failed, is what we call our centralization process. And what this process does is it shows you exactly what's causing your pain, and then what movements that you need to do for your specific condition to reduce your pain almost immediately. And I'm talking, our average client sees 37% reduction in their pain in a single session, and some complete pain relief within as little as 15 days. And it's actually easy. So if you'd like to give it a try and dive deeper with me to actually get a structured plan to healing, just text me the word pain to 317-751 9509 to get a tailored step-by-step plan to permanently fix your back or sciatica issues following my centralization process. Do it right now so you don't miss this opportunity to finally fix your pain and live the life that you deserve. And after you text me, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram at RehabFix for more free daily videos and insights into my life and what I'm doing to keep my low back and our clients' low backs bulletproof. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one, and I'll see some of you in our program real soon.